1. Which of the following is an essential component of adult learning theory when designing training programs for adult learners? A. Immediate feedback. B. Passive learning. Age-specific materials. D. Providing written content only. 2. Which strategy best supports the assessment of learning outcomes in a professional development program? A. Self-assessment surveys. Long-term observation only. C. Evaluation through learner's final exam. Solely using learner's work samples. 3. When developing a curriculum for healthcare professionals, which is most important to ensure relevance and engagement? A. Incorporating practical, real-world scenarios. B. Focusing solely on theoretical concepts. C. Avoiding multimedia components. D. Presenting information in a lecture-only format. 4. What is the primary focus of formative evaluation in training programs? A. To provide a final grade for participants. B. To assess the effectiveness of the program as a whole. C. To improve the learning process during the course. D. To compare learners' outcomes with industry standards. 5. In adult education, what does the concept of learner autonomy refer to? A. Learner's ability to follow instructions without guidance. B. Learner's capacity to self-direct their learning and make decisions. C. Learner's preference for one-way communication. D. Learner's dependence on a teacher's direction. 6. Which of the following best describes a mentor's role in a learning environment? A. To provide unsolicited advice during every stage of the program. B. To actively engage in learners' decision-making processes. C. To observe learners without interacting. D. To facilitate a learner's personal and professional growth through support and feedback. 7. In the context of regulatory compliance training, which of the following is most important to ensure adherence to legal requirements? A. Focus on outdated legal references for tradition. B. Training only on theoretical principles. C. Ensuring up-to-date training materials and legal references. D. Repeating the same material in every training session. 8. Which learning method is particularly effective for adult learners in high-stakes healthcare training? A. Blended learning with interactive case studies. B. Lecture-based presentations. C. Watching pre-recorded videos without interaction. D. Memorization of regulatory policies only. 9. In adult learning theory, what does the principle of constructivism emphasize? A. Learners passively absorb information from the instructor. B. Learners build new knowledge based on their own experiences. C. Learners should memorize content without contextual understanding. Teachers determine the learning process without learner input. 10. Which method of assessment is most appropriate for determining long-term retention of skills in healthcare professionals? A. Multiple choice quizzes. B. Direct observation in real-world settings. C. A final written exam. Peer evaluation. 11. What role does feedback play in an adult learner's development? A. Feedback should always be negative to drive improvement. B. Feedback provides opportunities for learners to adjust their approaches. C. Feedback is unnecessary if the learner has mastered the content. D. Feedback should be delayed until the course completion. 12. Which of the following strategies best fosters critical thinking among adult learners? A. Providing answers to all questions in advance. B. Encouraging learners to analyze and solve real-world problems. C. Relying solely on textbook materials. D. Using a single teaching method throughout the course. 13. What is the purpose of a learning objective in curriculum design? A. To outline the teacher's goals. B. To set clear expectations for what the learner should achieve. C. To give learners detailed instructions on how to complete the course. To assess the teacher's teaching ability. 14. Which approach is most effective for ensuring inclusivity in adult education? A. Tailoring content to one specific learner group. B. Using standardized assessments for all learners. C. Acknowledging diverse learning styles and cultural backgrounds. D. Maintaining a rigid curriculum without adaptations. 15. In mentoring, which of the following is an example of active listening? Interrupting the learner to provide quick solutions. B. Paraphrasing the learner's concerns to show understanding. C. Making assumptions about the learner's needs. Responding with silence to all learner questions. 16. What is the key characteristic of collaborative learning in an adult education setting? A. Students work independently on projects without interaction. B. Learners engage with peers to share knowledge and experiences. C. The instructor provides all answers without student input. Learners focus exclusively on individual work. 17. Which of the following strategies helps to increase learner engagement during virtual training? A. Long, uninterrupted lecture sessions. B. Interactive discussions, polls, and real-time feedback. C. Using text-heavy materials with no visuals. D. Limiting the use of multimedia and technology. 18. How can an instructor best ensure compliance with industry regulations in a training program? A. Focus on one compliance area and ignore others. B. Keep the training materials as brief as possible. C. Incorporate real-life scenarios and practical applications of regulations. D. Use only theoretical legal content with no real-world examples. 19. When evaluating the success of a learning program, what is the first step an instructor should take? A. Collect data on learner outcomes and feedback. B. Create a new curriculum for the next course. C. Immediately update training materials. D. Provide an extensive report to senior management. 20. Which type of evaluation is designed to assess the program's overall impact on organizational performance? A. Formative evaluation. B. Summative evaluation. C. Diagnostic evaluation. D. Continuous feedback. 21. What is an example of a needs assessment in curriculum development? A. Delivering content without knowing learners' prior knowledge. B. Gathering data on learners' knowledge gaps and training needs. C. Assuming all learners have the same level of expertise. D. Focusing only on compliance requirements without considering learner needs. 22. What is the purpose of scaffolding in adult education? A. To provide learners with all the answers. B. To break down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps. C. To encourage learners to solve problems without guidance. D. To ensure the learning process is entirely self-directed. 23. In a mentorship relationship, which of the following is the mentor's primary role? A. To dictate the learner's decisions without feedback. B. To provide guidance and support to help the learner develop professionally. C. To ensure the learner follows the mentor's career path. D. To supervise the learner's every action without offering personal insights. 24. How should an adult educator handle conflicting views during a group discussion? A. Ignore the disagreement to maintain harmony. B. Encourage respectful debate and explore diverse perspectives. C. Immediately impose a solution based on the educator's viewpoint. D. Discourage learners from expressing differing opinions. 25. What is the primary benefit of using real-world scenarios in training programs? A. They offer practical applications that enhance learning relevance. B. They focus solely on theory to build a strong conceptual foundation. C. They make the course easier by removing difficult concepts. D. They limit learners' ability to apply knowledge in different contexts. 26. Which of the following is a key principle of the andragogy model of adult learning? A. Adults prefer to learn by memorization techniques. B. Adults bring rich experiences that influence their learning. C. Adults only learn from formal educational settings. D. Adults require a constant teacher-directed learning approach. 27. What is the primary reason to include diverse teaching methods in adult learning? A. To avoid relying on any single method that may not engage all learners. B. To challenge learners by forcing them to adapt to new methods. C. To focus exclusively on the lecture-based approach. D. To ensure that learners do not get distracted by multiple methods. 28. How can mentoring improve learner outcomes in a professional development program? A. By providing one-way communication from mentor to mentee. B. By creating opportunities for mentees to develop their critical thinking skills. C. By eliminating the need for additional resources or support. D. By imposing a single career path for the mentee. 29. In curriculum development, what is an important consideration for adult learners? A. Focusing on theoretical concepts without practical applications. B. Integrating content that reflects real-life scenarios and challenges. C. Relying solely on textbooks as the learning material. D. Presenting information in a lecture-only format without interaction. 30. What role does active participation play in adult education? A. It increases engagement and reinforces learning. B. It distracts from the key content. C. It limits the depth of understanding of complex topics. D. It reduces learners' ability to concentrate on theory.